You are watching Eternal Warrior on MTGO Academy featuring RexDart.
Hey everybody, it's Chris, MTGO's RexDart. I'm just going to do a quick video deck tech for this week, since I know some of you guys just watch on YouTube. But I do encourage you to go over to mtgoacademy.com and check out the article where I'm going to explain a lot of this in more detail. Anyways, this is a junk deck that's sort of a hybrid of, has some elements of Death and Taxes style decks. It has some flashback to something called like Dark Horizons from back in like 2011, which is sort of a Knight of the Reliquary deck with Horizon Canopies and Mox Diamonds. Basically, the idea here is that you're playing a sort of aggro disruption deck in these junk colors. It's very flexible. You have access to some of the best removal spells in the game. You also have some really powerful turn one plays, which is kind of what I built this around. Sort of going to what I had been doing in Vintage, where I really liked being able to open on, these turn one uncounterable Thalias thanks to Cavern of Souls. Now again, there are a lot of ways, and I'll talk in the article, that I went with this Cavern of Souls base, and I think if there are a lot of dazes and stuff floating around, that has a lot going for it. Now, if that changes and there are less counter magic in the format, then it may be better to go with things like Green Sun Zenith packages and not bind yourself to having to play humans. Okay. But basically, I have plays like turn one Thalia, turn one Dark Confidant, thanks to the Mox Diamonds. The card disadvantage there, certainly if you're playing something like a Dark Confidant, certainly totally worth it. If you're playing Thalia, you can definitely put your opponent on the back foot on the play. You can also lead with something like a Mother of Runes and a Thoughtseize and take a removal spell out of their hand, and that way make sure that whatever you're deploying next is going to stick. You really want the Knight of the Reliquaries to stick because they're your best beat stick. And you can also use them like Maverick does to fetch up Wastelands and just chain Wastelands to keep your opponent locked down. I've got one main deck, Chains of Mephistopheles, just to give this a shot. I think a lot of people will be playing, still probably be playing Brainstorms, and you'll see some shardless bug decks with things like Ancestral Visions. Of course, now you can Abrupt Decay this, so it's not a total lockdown, but it will shut off some of the cantrips and things like that until they can find an answer for it. I'm going with the 3/3 Hierarch Deathrite Shaman split. A lot of these guys are, 2/1s and stuff. I kind of feel like having the Exalted triggers allows them to, attack into Tarmogoyfs or Batterskulls. Tarmogoyf might get to 4/5 and make it a little tricky even if you had a couple Noble Hierarchs out, but something like a Batterskull token, I think you can attack into Entangle with, even with some of these 2/1s. You've got 3 Swords to Plowshares. It's just good, cheap, efficient removal. 3 Abrupt Decays. I've got the 4th in the board. A lot of the numbers on this, you see a lot of 3s. I mean, some of this probably needs to be tweaked a little bit. I do like the 3/3 Hierarch DRS split because I've found that having 3 Deathrite Shamans is usually fine with Knight decks when I've toyed around with this kind of thing before, but I always hate to prey on the fuel that makes this guy big too much, but usually opponents will give you plenty of fetch lands you can use here. And Deathrite Shaman is just great at poking through the last few damage with the black ability near the end of the game. Now, I talked in the article about how many Mox Diamonds you want to play. Again, if you're like a prison deck, you just go ahead and jam the full set if you're playing them, because you just really want things like that turn one Trinisphere, and some of these just backbreaking plays. Almost doesn't matter if you end up with redundant things, and those decks mulligan pretty aggressively to begin with, whereas I don't really want to make this a mulligan heavy kind of deck here. So I went with 3 Mox Diamonds to kind of minimize. After a lot of gold fishing, I felt that gave me the best chance of getting one in my opener, but not getting hands that were basically unplayable because of them. Mother of Runes is there to protect against removal spells. As I said, I think that like Abrupt Decay is going to be pretty popular in the new metagame. Really, I'm expecting a lot of bug decks. So I think that'll be I think that'll be doing some work. I've got 3 Thought Seizes. I really would think about. I wanted to try the Sing Collectors because I know, but haven't seen anybody playing them. I thought, well, I've got Cavernous Souls. It's uncounterable, and I've kind of fooled around with it in casual 60 card tribal decks and stuff before, and I thought it pulled a lot of weight, and I thought, well, maybe I'd give it a shot in some competitive Legacy. It does exile the card, which comes in handy sometimes. It's a definite advantage. So, but it certainly is possible. I should just like have another Thoughtseize there. But having the 2/1 body around to speed up my clock is important against combo decks too. Like I said in the article, kind of compare it to Vendilion Click. It's obviously a lot worse than Vendilion Click in most regards. Doesn't have flash, flying. It's only 2 power, but the principle is the same, and it does provide actual card advantage. So you'll see it featured pretty heavily in the videos because I seem to draw it a lot tonight. And moving over to the sideboard, Ethersworn Canonist is a human, totally cool. So I can plop that one down uncounterable. And one of the nice things about having Mother of Runes with your Hate Bears is you can protect them from, Echoing Truth or whatever the combo player is trying to use to get your Hate Bears off the board, or the Elves player trying to get it off the board with Abrupt Decay, for instance. Couple copies of Stony Silence. It's pretty good against Miracles, and online I'm just always a little leery of people with like budget affinity decks or something like that, and that would just clog the ground with all sorts of garbage that would make this very hard for me. So I wanted to hedge against that a little bit. A couple Orzhov Pontiffs, good against Young Pyromancer. Will not be as good against Monastery Mentor. We'll deal with that later if I keep playing this and that Monastery Mentor actually becomes a deck. Since I'm in black and I have a bunch of mana dorks and stuff, I'm going to play the full set of Leyline of the Void here as my graveyard hate. I can actually hard cast the thing reasonably if I have to. So that situation where you top deck one, on your second or third turn, you're like, ugh, it's not quite as bad here as it might otherwise be. Now I do have some higher end stuff here in the sideboard, so it's going to make Bob hurt a little bit more. That is a risk, but anyways, Minddrake Trap, good for Storm, and you'll see in one of the videos, I didn't actually, when I was sideboarding, I decided to bring it in with the idea of casting it fairly. Since I do have 3 Hierarchs and 3 Deathrite Shamans, the idea of being able to produce 2 blue is not totally crazy. You also have the 3 Mox Diamonds. So technically you have 9 spells in here that can produce blue mana pretty easily. So something to consider. Anyways, so that's the deck tech there. You'll notice that the mana base is a little light on duels, and I'm trying to fit in a Karakas here and have a basic forest that I can cast a mana dork off if I'm trying to play around an early wasteland. So I only have 7 fetches in here, again, to kind of accommodate those caverns. So it's a little lighter on fetch land and stuff than I'd probably prefer to play in a night deck, but the Mox Diamond is binning a land, so I always found the Knights were reasonably sized when I got them into play. So anyways, I hope you enjoy the videos this week, and thank you for tuning in.
If you'd like to purchase Magic Online cards at competitive prices, check out our web store at mtgoacademy.com/store.
Hey everybody, it's Chris, MTGO's RexDart, and we're going to be playing a little bit with the junk deck here. We're on the draw, but this is about as good as you can hope for here. It's got a turn 1 Bob. I'd rather it was a Thalia, maybe, certainly on the play. But we're going to give it a keep. Okay. So I could just play Mom here first off the Cavern, just to protect the Bob. Flooded Strand could be Miracles. in which case that's irrelevant. Or I guess it could be blue, white, red Delver, in which that could be very relevant. So I think, I think I'm going to go ahead and play the Mom first. I'll probably go ahead and play the Diamond also to play around days here. So we're going to play Cavern Naming Human. Oh, I don't know why that happened. Sorry. And I'll play the Mox Diamond. Okay, so he might be spell piercing this. It's possible. Okay, yeah, so at least we've revealed here what we are. He could also... Now, he can't stifle that. That's a replacement effect. It's not like Chrome Mox. Okay, so he is going to spell pierce it. And we will cast Mom. I guess he could still be on blue-red. Okay. Well, let's see. So this could get stifled. Okay, it's not. He's past the turn. So we'll get a Bayou here. We need to start getting our mana for Abrupt Decay. So we'll go for Bob and then pass the turn. Alright, so still not 100% what the opponent's on. Well, now we'll never know because he decided to just sideboard here. That seems strange. Yeah, so that's leaving us kind of in the dark. I'm not really sure if he was Miracles. Well, he had Spell Pierce. That could have been Miracles. That also could have been Delver. Now, if it's Delver, then I would want these Pontiffs. I really don't know. I don't know enough to take these Thoughtseizes out, although I am on the draw. So I think he's kind of left me unsure here. I think I will take the... Unless, because if he was Miracles, then I might want Vindicate for Jace. But I think I'd rather have the Abrupt Decay. That's the only change I'm really comfortable making right now. Let's see what happens here. Okay, well this hand has not much going for it. It has a removal spell, and that's fine if he is on Delver. Otherwise, it just has a land that cycles here and a mana dork. I don't think I like that on the draw. I can probably do a little better. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, he's Gataxian probing me. So yeah, so we're on some kind of Delver variant here then. So I guess I'm glad that I brought the Abrupt Decay in. Alright, so he's going for the basic island, and he will ponder. So the unfortunate thing about this is that the banned lists haven't updated yet. So it is certainly possible that he's on. Let's see. Do I want to get a forest here to play around Wasteland? The only problem with that is I don't have any black. If I do that, I think we'll go ahead and get the Bayou and then play Noble Hierarch. Okay, it does not get dazed. But yeah, he may still be on Treasure Cruise because the ban list doesn't update on Moto until next Friday. I'll be heading to Star City Games Indianapolis Legacy Open this upcoming weekend, hoping that we have an interesting metagame with all these changes. Okay, Stoneforge Mystic. So blue, white, red could be the mid-range deck, possibly. What did he get? Batterskull. Okay. All right. Let's see. So I can play. Let's see. Sync Collector, obviously not going to shut Batterskull down. Batterskull is going to be tough. I'm probably going to have to fight that. Ugh, I guess with Knight of the Reliquary. He's going to have to give me something to waste here. We're still a turn away from that. I think we'll go ahead and play the Bob. I could play the Bob and another Noble Hierarch. Okay, he's got a True Name Nemesis. That's going to be pretty good. Okay, yeah, certainly should have brought in the Orzhov Pontiffs if I had known he would have that. I guess I should have just made the guess. But it was just too ambiguous with him only having shown me a Spell Pierce. Let's see. Alright, so I've got enough mana here. I can cast a Sync Collector and waste him, or I can get my Knight out on the board. I think I'm going to go ahead and cast the Sync Collector. Alright, so we've got a Treasure Cruise, a Spell Pierce, and a Brainstorm. See, I've got another Sync Collector, so I can probably catch his. Ooh, he's got a Jite. That's gonna be sick. At least he's a couple turns away from being able to deploy and use that. I guess I'll take the. See, I can take the exile the Brainstorm, and he's still a little ways away from being able to actually cast Cruise here. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then I'll waste his Volcanic Island. Okay, well, he ripped that fetch land off the top. Would allow him to cast Cruise if he wants to burn all of his mana and activate the fetch. Clearly he does not. So we know he drew that for the turn. So we know the rest of his hand is Treasure Cruise, Spell Pierce, Jite, and Batterskull. Oh, okay. Well, there's Abrupt Decay for the Jite. That will be nice. So you're going to go ahead and play a Bayou here. This will let him trade off the Germ token if he wants to. And he does not want to. Okay. So, black, white. So we'll take his Treasure Cruise here, and then I can Abrupt Decay the Jite, which unfortunately does still leave me on a pretty short clock from True Name Nemesis. You can also just run the Batterskull out here. Okay, he's going to run the Jite out. So I can deal with that. And if he does not have another land, then I can swing in here for quite a bit. And he's going to go to 11. I'm sorry, go to 12. Fetches a Tundra. Okay, and he's got a Swords for the Bob, which is bad for me to lose Bob. However, it does slightly increase, decreases the clock here, because he had me dead in 3 turns from True Name unaided. So we know he has whatever he drew this turn plus a Batterskull in hand. And you gonna let me draw? Let me draw, buddy. Cavernous Souls. All right. Okay. So I know he can't counter this knight, so I don't need to cast it off the counter. So I know because he has, he has Spell Pierce, right? Yeah. So his hand is Spell Pierce and Batterskull. Okay. It seems like there was something that oh, the swords. That's what he drew. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. It's the same if I attack with both of these, except one of these he can chump. He's not going to chump because he can't get Batterskull out. So I can just attack with the one Sink Collector. These are on the stack. I'm waiting for him to let him go through. So I'll put him at 8. Then I'm going to have a 4/4 knight that'll be a 5/5 pretty quickly. Do a 5/5 on my next turn by the time he could attack with a Batterskull token. Okay. Alright. So just go ahead and I can go ahead and play the Catacombs. Because again, he can't counter this. Green, white, white. At least represent that the last card in my hand might be an Abrupt Decay. I don't know why it would matter, but I'm not going to block with the Hierarch, so. I can basically indefinitely keep him from getting to 5 mana because I can always just use the Knight to play the Waste thing, but I don't think just cycle Wastelands, but I don't think it's going to come to that. Alright, so Spell Pierce, Batterskull, plus whatever he drew for this turn. Now my problem is, assuming he holds the name back. Oh, okay, he decided to scoop, but I don't think he was necessarily out of that game there. He could have held the true name back to block, brought in his Batterskull, and I can't really profitably attack there because he can always just... None of my guys without Exalted triggers, other than the Knight, would have been 5/5. I could have sat there and attacked with the Knight, but I don't know that he could have just blocked it with True Name every turn and continue to attack with the Vigilant Batterskull that I had no blockers for. So I don't think he should have scooped there, but he did, so I'll take the win, and I'll see you in the next match. Hey everybody, it's Chris, MTGO's RexDart, and we're playing a little bit more with the Junk Humans deck here. And let's see. Well, I'm on the draw. I can play a Mom. I will have to hit another land to get to anything interesting here. Like I can run out of Mom and then maybe run out of Knight in a couple of turns. It's not super exciting. I mean, obviously there are going to be matchups where the Mom is pretty good, but like I can't even cast this Chains here. It's not. Ugh. Well, I don't know. I'm on the draw. I'm going to mulligan it. All right, that has some issues, but I guess I'm going to keep it. Really would be nice to draw just like a fetch land or something that I can pitch to the Mox Diamond. Cloud Post. Interesting. Okay, so 12 Post. Well, obviously I'm going to want the Wastelands. I guess I'm pitching Cavern. He may well have counter magic, but boy, yeah, I'm going to want that Wasteland. So, so Mox Diamond, pitching Cavern, Wasteland, and then just play Mom and waste something. Is that the play? Then that only leaves me with 1 mana. It seems terrible. Like if he's blue-green Cloud Post, do they? It's been so long since I even saw this deck. I'm trying to remember if they have card draw spells or not. I'm really not sure. Well, I know anyways that I'm going to play this Mox Diamond pitching, or I could just waste that and just wait. See what he does now. Okay, I'm going to play the Mox Diamond. And we're going to pitch Cavern. And then we're going to play a Wasteland. And then, for lack of anything really better to do, I'll go ahead and cast the Chains. But I don't know if they play cantrips or anything like that. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. So we're going to run it out. It seems like blue-green was the most common variant of this. The last time I saw it, I remember seeing a match in paper. Alright, well, now I'm in a little bit of a spot here because I won't have any pressure. I need to waste that because if his next land is a Glimmer Post, he'll be at 7, and I really don't want to see what he can do at 7. Now it leaves me like nothing to do here except cast a Mom, but I mean I think that's all I can do. So I'm gonna waste that and cast Mom. So I'm going to need to hit another land pretty quick. Okay, so he did have the Glimmer Post, so he would have been at 7 mana there. Alright, well this will eventually allow me to do something. And cast Deathrite Shaman. Doubt he has spot removal for this, so I can probably just attack, but... Okay, so that he now is at 5 mana. Alright. And there's a Bayou. Let's go ahead and play the Bayou. Probably just has big guys. I don't think Sin Collector is going to hit anything unless he has all this dust. What am I at for lands? 2. So I'd be down to 1 if I want to cast this Knight or the Sin Collector. Or I could cast the Bob. Also. I think I just need to kind of get a clock on this guy. If I cast Knight, then next turn I could sack away the Bayou and waste him. So I guess that's the play. Green, white. Exile his Cloud Post for a green. Cast Knight. So hoping for nothing particularly relevant here. Expedition map. Okay, that's going to be good. You can tap the Cloud Post, search up Expedition map. Okay, and there's the Misty. For the Trop. And then, ooh, show and tell. Okay, yeah, that's a plan. So yeah, I guess now that I think about it, I probably should have run Sin Collector out there to show the inexperience here. Okay. So show and tell for some nasty big thing here. I don't know what's going to get me around that. I can put the Sin Collector in and take something else of his, or I can put Bob in and try to get an extra draw, but at this point it's not going to really matter. I guess I'll put in the Bob. Okay, he's got Prime Time. Okay. Alright, so he gets another Cloud Post and a Misty. So I draw another knight off of Bob and then a Thoughtseize. Okay. Let's see. So I can get to 3 mana to cast the Sink Collector if I want, and then waste him also. Or I can just Thoughtseize him and then get rid of that to waste him. But since I can't really do anything about the prime time, whenever it attacks, I can double block here. But I can't get. I'd get what, 1? No, I'd get 2 extra. The knight would be a 6/6. Okay, that works. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and Thoughtseize him here. Repeal, Dig Through Time, and Brainstorm. Well, Dig Through Time is not going to... Well, Brainstorm's not going to do anything. Dig Through Time, I probably definitely do not want him to have. Eye of Ugin, unfortunately, is going to allow him to. Yeah. Then he's got Repeal to bounce something, and Cantrip. I guess we're going to get rid of Dig. Okay. So if he doesn't draw anything nasty, but I have to wait and block with this Knight of the Reliquary in order to do that first. Or I can just block with Bob and give a no, okay. Now I want to waste him now, don't I? So he can't. Or no, do I want to wait for the Eye of Ugin? What is he going to have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana here. If I waste one of the Cloud Posts, he's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 instead. Although after he attacks with Prime Time, he would have more. Now we're gonna wait here. Okay, so he's going to cast Repeal on the chains so that he can cast his Brainstorm. Okay, that's a play. All right. Alright, so he is going to attack with Prime Time. He's blown the... Okay, he's going to Brainstorm in response to attacking. Okay. Alright, so he's going to be able to activate the Eye of Ugin. Yeah, maybe I should have done it last turn. That was unfortunate. Okay. So, I'm going to block here. Alright, if I waste Eye of Ugin in response, he's going to spend his Cloud Posts to activate it. So I'm just going to have to waste one of the Cloud Posts. Alright, he's going to activate the Eye. And then I'm going to target Knight of the Reliquary and give it protection from green. Now, if Bob can draw me into another land that I can fetch out a wasteland with, then it might be okay here. I guess I will see black. Okay. Okay, what did he get with his Eye of Ugin? It's not showing me. Oh, it should be in revealed cards. Okay, you got an Emrakul. Okay. Oh, I guess I can get rid of that. Okay, good. So I've got a scrub land, so I can go ahead and cast Thoughtseize on him. Can get rid of Emrakul, and then I can waste the Eye of Ugin. However, that does let him crop rotation it. Yeah, but I don't have any other way to get around that, unfortunately. So we'll... Or I could just keep him from being able to cast it. What does he need? He needs 13 for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, and that counts because that's 6. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I can keep him from casting it, so I'm going to have to... now, if I discard that, then I'm going to have to... I should have activated for mana first. Oh, well. Okay, so we're going to get rid of... God, if you hadn't drawn that crop rotation, that's... Okay. I'm getting rid of Emrakul. And then I guess I will exile one of his lands for black. And then I'll let the Emrakul trigger resolve. And then I've got black. Black. Oh, I could just cast the... No, I still need to waste that. So I'll recast the chains. And then... sack the scrubland for a wasteland, and then waste his Eye of Ugin here, and but then he's just going to crop rotation for 1 and search out another Eldrazi. So it's getting to be a alright. Okay. I'll attack with Bob. So I know he drew Vesuva for the turn. I don't know how many Eye of Ugins he might be running, but I would guess at least 2. And so he'll be able to do that at the end of turn. Alright, I'm taking a lot of heat from knights here. I probably need to just start beating in. So I just want to beat in with that knight, because I don't think wasting anything here. If he crop rotates whatever, he'd crop rotate whatever I wasted. If I just hold off, I think I need to just start beating in. he'll be able to gain some life if he wants to go with a Glimmer Post here. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of hope he doesn't... He could just dig into an Emrakul and cast it and win the game. Okay. Except I could sack everything except for the 2 knights and kill him on the crackback. Alright, so he doesn't have any green mana, so he's not going to be able to use the crop rotation this turn. He has 6 locuses in play, so he can make basically infinite mana. Okay, and he's going to gain a ton of life there. Okay, he's got prime time. I think he has 1 Glimmer Post left he can fetch. Yeah, so he fetched the last Glimmer Post and a Misty. Alright, another Mom and a Wasteland. Okay. So what do I want to cast this turn here? Probably just going to attack with the Knights. And then cast another Knight. So if I attack with it, I could attack for 10, 12. No, I could kill him. Here, can't I? I think so. Play the Wasteland. If I give... I'm 1... Yeah, okay. If I give Dark Confidant, protection from green, and I waste something, I attack for 10, 22, and then I use Deathrite Shaman to do the remaining 2 damage. Right? So give this protection from green. And then we'll waste him off one of his colored sources, I guess. Okay. At least he has to block with the prime time. So I'm threatening the kill if he doesn't block with the prime time. Just die. Okay, so yeah, he will block. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and cast another Mom here, I guess. Okay, he's got another prime time. He's out of Glimmer Posts. He can get an Eye of Ugin, but he won't be able to search anything until next turn. Glacial Chasm. Oh, that's nice. Now, how many Wastelands have I used? Have I used all of them? Yeah. Oh my God, that's sick. I've used all my fucking. Oops, sorry. All my gosh darn Wastelands. Um, oh, and he got a Vesuva to Kapu Glimmer Post. Okay, yeah, this game is over, right? I can't actually beat him. Um, let's see. I mean, I can try to wait him out, but prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. I mean, I can make him lose 2 life at a turn. If he hadn't been able to get those Vesuvas for Glimmer Posts, that would have been different. That is how he gained the freaking life, right? How did he get all the way back up to that? Yeah. Because all I can do is ping him down here, and I'm out of Wastelands, so that's game. Okay. Let's see. Well, abrupt decays are not very good against him. Stony Silence probably okay. You might bring in Oblivion Stones. Doesn't leave me a heck of a lot to bring in here. Like, a lot of my deck is just really terrible against him. Yeah, yeah, there's been Linvala's not doing anything. Canonist is not likely to do anything. Nor is Orzhov Pontiff. Leyline of Void not doing anything. I mean, it shuts off Dig Through Time, but I mean, is that really a reason to have them? No. I guess the question is, do I want to bring in a Linvala just to have a flyer, or bring in a Canonist? Canonist is just as likely to hurt me, so I just go in her. Doesn't really matter. I guess there's an offhand chance I could cast a Mindbreak Trap. Yeah, with Mox Diamonds and Death Rights and stuff, that's actually kind of reasonable. I'll bring in a couple of those, I think. This is a really aggressive idea there. I know Thalia's not doing too much against him, so why not? Let's see if that works. Yes, I'll play first. Okay, yeah, this is all right. Okay, oh yeah, Caracas. Okay, I'll keep that. Got a Wasteland in hand, and so I'll probably lead on Cavern, Noble Hierarch, go, and then plan on Sin Collectoring him, and then we'll see where the draws take me. Hopefully the draws take me somewhere. A lot of mana sources in this deck, so it's certainly possible to draw junk. Okay, Cavern naming human. Noble Hierarch. I feel like you might be keeping up brainstorm, but I really don't see a lot of alternatives to going ahead and running out this Sing Collector here, so we'll I want to get a Bayou here. Okay. Alright, the white, black. Ooh, total whiff. Couple of prime times and a tabernacle and a bunch of lands. Okay. Alright, so he's going to run out the tabernacle. That's going to force me to go ahead and waste it. So I can use the Noble Hierarch to pay for herself. Okay. All right. Okay, and we'll waste the tabernacle. Cast Noble Hierarch and attack. Yeah, I could actually cast a Mind Break Trap here. Another Sing Collector. Wonder if it might hit anything this time. Go ahead and play the Horizon Canopy. Okay. Alright, so go white, black, green. Oh, alright, hit a repeal there. And a Vesuva, Cloud Post, Caracas, Bog. Is that what? Okay. Alright, another Cloud Post. Alright, we're gonna draw a card. It's a Thalia. It's not really doing much for us. And the Mox Diamond, okay. I guess I'll play the Mox Diamond, discarding the Cavern. Just to have an extra land in the graveyard for that. Okay. Cavern, okay, and then white, green. Alright, there's no difference here, just sec for 4. Alright, he's going to brainstorm here. Must have been what he drew before. Yeah, because I saw the repeal and that's what I hit with that second Sing Collector. Alright, so he decided to go to the post board games, and I am fine with what we got. Now, certainly he's in much better position on the play. Because it costs me a little bit of tempo to waste him. Okay, he's got a top. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I don't need to thought seize him just yet, I don't think. He can't actually do anything else. So Cavern, Human, Noble Hierarch, and pass the turn. Okay, he's got the Tabernacle again there. It's unfortunate for me. So we're going to have to use the Hierarch to pay for herself. Okay. Okay. And then we'll play a Scrubland. And then I guess I will just thought seize him here. Repeal, dig, crop rotation. This will get rid of crop rotation. I'm not going to run out the mom here because of the Tabernacle. Because I'm probably going to have to just run out Sin Collector and start beating down. But I'll admit I'm not in good shape here. Now he doesn't have anything immediately awfully exciting happening, but nevertheless. Alright, so he's thinking here in his second main. We know he has what, repeal left, a dig. Definitely like dig in this kind of deck. And really I don't mind at all that they left the dig available in the format. There's Bob, huh? Okay. So we're going to run this out. Okay, and then white, black, green. The Sin Collector. There's only 2 of these guys in here, but it feels like I have 30 of them. I've been drawing them all night. That's a good way to test out the card. I'm not sure if other people have been trying this or not. It's a card that I kind of tried in some 60 card casual human tribal and thought was pulling a lot of weight there, so thought I'd try it in some competitive formats. And so we're going to take dig, I suppose. Okay, and then we'll F6. All right, so Vesuva copying a cloud post, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's getting close to being able to do something relevant here. Okay, so I'm going to pay there and there. Okay. Stony Silence, that might be a good one to play. Do that. White 1 for Stony Silence. He's going to top in response. Was going to play the Bob there. Bob would only marginally increase my clock, but I still obviously want it to hopefully maybe draw me into some wastelands. But we're going to swing. And then we'll be F6ing. He's at end of turn, so unless he's going to repeal something. Now he can repeal the Stony Silence just to cantrip, and then get to use his top if he is so inclined. Okay. Alright, so we're going to add green, green. Come on. Hey, green. This is the worst for timing me out. Okay. And then there's a Bob. So we're going to go ahead and attack with Sin Collector. And then we will play the Bob and then pass the turn. Okay, so he did decide to repeal the Stony Silence so that he can use his top. Alright, so now he's got some serious mana here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, potentially. Alright, he's going to ponder. And brainstorm. Okay. Yeah, so he shuffled there. Alright, I'm going to let Noble Hierarch pay for herself and then probably use both of those to pay for my guys, because the clock is definitely better that way. Okay, so white, white, green. Okay. All right. And a Catacombs there. Alright, we'll fetch up a Bayou. And if he ripped an O Stone, this is really going to suck for me, but I'm not going to replay that Stony Silence. I'm just going to play a Bob here. We'll see if that comes back to bite me. Alright, he's got Primeval Titan. Alright, so now he's going to fetch up a couple more, maybe another Cloud Post and a Glimmer Post, so he's going to be definitely swinging the race back in his favor. And obviously the clock not in mine, so... Okay. Oh, what am I doing here? God, I don't have time to really think about this here. What's in my graveyard? Let's see. I'm going to swords that, and then have to attack him. So I'm just paying, I guess. Okay. Okay. So green, green, one. Come on. Green. All right. So we're gonna play the Catacombs. Get a value there. White. Swords of Prime Time. I should have got something and fetched up Mother Runes, but I think with the minute 17, it's probably not going to end up mattering. Yeah, that Tabernacle certainly is hurting. If I'd drawn a Wasteland to take care of the Tabernacle earlier, I would have had a little bit more mana freed up. Probably have a Knight in play by now. Could have vindicated him off one of his lands, but hey, that's why the card's $700 in real life. It's pretty good. Alright, so we flip top for something. He's going to cast an Ulamog. Okay. Yeah, alright, I'm just going to scoot to that. I don't. So, anyways, alright. Little bit of clock management issues there, but obviously not a very good matchup either. I will see you next time. Hey everybody, it's Chris, MTGO's RexDart, and we're playing off the Junk Humans deck. We are on the play. This hand looks alright. It's got some hand disruption, it's got a beater. I guess we'll lead on the Cavern Naming Human, and then hold the Mox Diamond until next turn. Whoop, why did it do that? It just randomly seems to do that to me sometimes. Probably put me on Death and Taxes from that. Alright, so he's got a Valk and a Careful Study. Okay. Discarding Faithless Looting, Exhume. Okay. So some kind of Reanimator deck here. Huh. Okay. Alright. Well, I guess I will play the Mox. Let's see, I'll play a Bayou, and then the Mox Diamond discarding, and do the Sin Collector here, I think. And Bayou. So I'm no longer playing that main deck Bajuka Bog. I had that in an earlier iteration of the deck. White, green. Right. Okay, 2 Exhumes, a Careful Study, and a Daze. Huh? So I want to get rid of the Careful Study. That way he has to blow his petals to Faithless Looting in order to find a fatty here. Attacking those Exhumes was going to do nothing because he had 2 of them. Okay, discards a couple Dazes, so he is not finding. Okay. Deathrite Shaman. Okay. Alright, we're going to waste him off the Valk. Let's see, I could play the Knight here to, I probably, well, he's very unlikely to give me, I guess I should play the Deathrite Shaman here. The only advantage of playing the Knight is I could start using the, I could start trying to fetch up more Wastelands, but he probably has like Reanimate and stuff, so better just get the Deathrite Shaman down. That does give him this turn as a window to try to get some fat in there. Of course, his thing is he's got Exhumes, which are each player puts a creature card. It doesn't target. So Deathrite Shaman is the worst against that particular reanimation spell. Alright, well apparently he didn't get there, and I don't know, I think I would have at least tried to play that out. Alright, so I'm board in. Main deck Ley Lines. Abrupt Decay is likely to be very bad against him. I don't know if there's something he might bring in against me, but either way, I probably want Linvala. I'm going to assume he has a show and tell plan. probably also. So let's see, swords and Thoughtseize and stuff still good. Not gonna want Pontiffs. Probably not gonna want Mindbreak Trap. I mean, it might be able to blow him out if he has some hand with a bunch of petals and stuff like that. I mean, it could happen, but I don't know. That doesn't sound really great to me. Canonist, Stony Silence. Stony Silence could be good against him. I don't know. Not super feeling it though. Let's see. So that stuff all is pretty good. Probably cut a mom. I could probably cut both the moms. He's not gonna really have much in the way of removal. The only thing mom's gonna end up doing is let me probably swing some guy past a dude. I'd just keep the Vindicates in. Well, the Vindicate. I don't know. Maybe I do want the moms. No, I mean they're just not as high impact as anything else here. So I guess I can bring in Stony Silence. Could even kind of hurt me there, but I guess Canist is another option. I could just bring in. I feel like bringing in the Singleton Mindbreak Trap's just unlikely to do anything, but yeah, let's go ahead and bring that in. It's probably worse on the draw, but submit. Alright, well this is about as good as far as disruption that I could have hoped for. He may well have like a Chain of Vapor or something, but I can recast this thing on the second turn if I have to. I can play a Mox Diamond, land, Deathrite Shaman, yeah, then have another land. So I can hard cast it. Of course, he'd daze the thing maybe. Okay, so we're gonna play Verdant. We're gonna play Cavern, so I can play Deathrite uncounterably. Yeah, that probably sounds right. So play Cavern of Souls, naming Elf. Oh, God bless it, it keeps doing that. And then we're going to play a Mox Diamond, discarding one of these fetches. And we'll start with the Thoughtseize, because the elf won't be able to be dazed. Wow, okay, I guess he just didn't care much for that. Okay, well, all right, so that takes care of that matchup. And thank you for joining me. Like people really don't like those hate cards there, huh?